look, marketing's hard. I get that. I'm really bad at it, even though my entire job is based on marketing. But sometimes there's just like an easy goal that you can focus on. There's something like really easy. The bar is really, really low. And sometimes Games Workshop choose not even to bother doing that. Because yesterday we had the Nova Open reveals, and they've been hit with a lot of kickback. Obviously, the Nova Open is like a huge tournament that's happening in the US, but there's actually a huge tournament happening in the UK, which is the Super All-Stars 2 that's happening this weekend, and I've been talking a lot about it for the past couple of weeks, and I'm telling you about it now because I'm going to be streaming it with Tom Elliott and Magoo and all the gang this weekend, and we're going to be live for Saturday and Sunday, 9 till late UK time. But basically, what I wanted to say is there's a huge live stream. The Super All-Stars 2 will be live on YouTube all weekend too. If you are attending, then amazing, but if you can't make it, grab some popcorn, grab a beer, grab whatever, and hang out in the live stream. But the Nova Open is a large tournament that's happens in the US, and every year Games Workshop, it's like a partnered Games Workshop event where basically they do like big reveals for like new products that are coming up. And it used to be like an in-person show, and it's now turned into like a pre-recorded advert essentially, which is actually fine. I think the live ones had a little bit of novelty to them, and we always used to kind of laugh at them because it was like 20 minutes of asking what you've been painting, then getting into the reveals. But they were cute. They were cute. Like, don't get me wrong. But the new ones are like a little bit more professional. They're a little bit more to the point, and I think they're starting to hit their stride with them. However, that's what I can say about the previous ones, which we've just had for like Kill Team Hellstorm and like other reveals, etc. But the new ones are a little bit weird. Now, the reason I'm making these videos is because I think the messaging is just really odd. Now, some of it was like very much in our face, but the problem is like you can kind of say one thing one way and then post about it another way, and that becomes a problem because they previewed like 10 days ago that they were going to be at the Nova Open doing a reveal. And I will say it's great to see Trokey back doing it. All right. I will say it. Okay. Love you, Liam. However, Trokey's my go, all right? But they had this to say.
Hi, I'm Adam, and I'm here to invite you to the next Warhammer preview show from the Nova Open in Washington, D.C., USA. The show will be a little different to some of our others. Our main focus is going to be on getting the inside scoop on the future of loads of your favourite games and settings straight from the talented folks in the Warhammer studio. And yes, we'll be showing off some incredible new miniatures too. So, expect to first look at what's on the horizon for Warhammer 40,000, Warhammer Age of Sigmar, Warhammer the Horus Heresy, Warhammer the Old World, and even more.
They kind of say that it's going to be different. It's going to be the inside scoop, which is what they're referring to as roadmaps, okay? They want to show off roadmaps for what's happening and what's coming up in the new game and the games that they have, right? But they also say there's new models, but they don't specify how there's new models. So I think if you watch this exclusively, you're kind of like, oh, it's going to be a different show, but there's going to be new models. It kind of like muddies the water a little bit, I think. But then they came out like a week later, this was a couple of days ago, being like, there's a big reveal, all the latest reveals for Age of Sigmar and Blood Bowl, okay? Plus, see what the future holds for 40k Age of Sigmar Heresy in the Old World. Now, this is very clear, but I've only seen this picture on their website. I've not seen this on their Twitter or anything, or Facebook or whatever. I've only seen this on the website. Because on Twitter, it's just like, we've got roadmaps, you're going to see some stuff. It's not really like showing off, we're going to show off miniatures for these games, and we're going to see roadmaps for these games, okay? And I think with the previous previews that we've had recently, like again, we've just had the Kill Team Hellstorm preview, which showed off like a whole box of miniatures, a whole new Kill Team game. Would have been a great time to do this during the Nova reveal to kind of like add to it, because it felt really sparse. It felt really, really sparse, okay? Because there's an expectation. If there's a preview show, you're going to see loads of new stuff. You're going to see loads of new shit, and Nova Open's a big event, and they always show off new stuff, okay? But when you have reveals where even the golden children of Warhammer content creation are mocking you for it, I think there might be a little bit of a problem. Because Games Workshop have said it's going to be a different show. You're going to get the inside scoop. You're going to get roadmaps, okay? You're going to get roadmaps for the new stuff that's coming out over the next year. And I think what people expect is something like this, which is what we got at the start of, at the end of last year. This was like just after 10th edition came out. This is obviously a 10th edition roadmap. It showed off the codexes that we were getting for basically the next 6 months, okay? As you can see, they were like, in winter, at the end of last year, we're going to get Admech and Necrons. Then we're going to get Dark Angels, Orcs, Custodes, Tau, and Chaos. And then we're going to get Adeptus Sororitas, G-Steel Occults, and a Redacted Codex. Now, the Redacted Codex was obviously the Imperial Agents, and they actually quickly followed this with the Blood Angels. The Blood Angels FOMO box, the one that's on pre-order right now, is obviously not on this roadmap, but it came out very quickly after Agents. Literally, the day Agents came out, Blood Angels went on pre-order. That's how, like, quick it was. But the thing is with it is the Codex roadmap here is very clear. And I think people were looking for this show to show them something like this, okay? They're going to be like, winter 2024, spring 2025, summer 2025, here's a Redacted or whatever. Even if they didn't show a Redacted. But, like, again, like, the roadmap is there's like a precedent set. Like, this is what we do for roadmaps. And there's a precedent set with these preview shows. On a random Saturday, we're going to announce a new Kill Team edition with a whole new box with loads of cool miniatures. And again, I'm not here to criticize miniatures because I do think Games Workshop knock it out of the park with all the miniatures, okay? I can never sit here and say the miniatures are bad unless we're looking at KTS's head. We can never say the miniatures are bad. But basically, the messaging that they have is, okay? So people are expecting a big reveal with loads of new models, and they're expecting a roadmap, like, here's what's coming out in the next year, okay? And this is what we got, all right? This is it. You'll have seen these shared, usually it's followed by a snotty comment like, is this it, okay? And you see this is the Old World roadmap, and it goes like, so far, the Old World launched. And it's like, okay. Look, I'm already 6 months into Old World launch, all right? It came out in January. I'm not 6 months in. I'm 8 months in. That's how time works. As you can see, it's like Old World launch. All right, cool. Still to come, Dwarven Mountain Halls, which are on the shelf already, okay? And Warriors of Chaos, which were also announced 2 or 3 weeks ago. Again, if you've got a big preview show coming, why are you announcing the Warriors of Chaos like on a random Monday? Okay, why don't you go, there's a big reveal coming soon. We're announcing Warriors of Chaos are returning. That's really hype. But the thing is with it is Games Workshop are kind of like throwing so much stuff and so many big releases that they're not like, when they've got these big preview shows that they're kind of like stuck with, or they've been doing for a while, it feels like they have nothing to show. Because it says, what's coming and beyond, even more to come in 2025. Army boxes, heroes, plastic, metal, resin. Okay, this is like water is wet type reveal. Games Workshop will make miniatures in the future. Games Workshop will release a book. You never knew. And they did the same for the Horus Heresy. Warhammer the Horus Heresy. So far, Solar Auxiliary took the field. Okay, they came out, what, 4 months ago? Mechanicum just came out. And beyond, what's to come? Horus Heresy Legion Imperialis. Followed by tanks. It's just not great because they've made these images to be like, look, this is what's happening in the future. And it doesn't say anything. Okay, they're going to release tanks for a game based around making essentially sci-fi scale tanks. That's kind of like what people like to do in this hobby. That's what Heresy basically is, right? Now, they've put out videos, you know, they've put out like 5-minute videos saying, and they say like they're going to release some more stuff, and a lot of it in this one in particular as well, and the same as the Old World one, it's kind of like there is going to be new miniatures coming out in the future, and they've been going to doing that for a few years. They do expand a little bit, and they kind of go, in the Heresy we're going to be expanding the factions that have just come out, and we're going to be releasing more core Space Marine units in plastic. Eventually we're going to release Legion specific stuff in plastic as well. Now obviously that is just like such a gimme. Obviously, they are going to do that. Anyone who has half a brain cell could work out that Games Workshop will release new plastic stuff because they've been releasing redone resin stuff in plastic. And obviously, eventually, they're going to run out and they're going to start doing Legion specific. That's the release cycle. But they've said that in the video, which is obviously good. Okay. But they've made these roadmaps, which are easily shareable because it's a JPEG, and they are just saying tanks. When one of the biggest complaints I've seen about the release of the Horus Heresy, it's obviously been coming out for 2 years now, well, it was first released 2 years ago, this new edition, is that there's been too many tanks. They've kind of gone, all of these resin tanks that we've done, we're just going to re-release them all, and then we're going to do like some other odd units like they did the weapon sprues, and they've still not released, they've done the Assault Marines, but they've still not released the melee weapon set, or one of the sets they've announced in a previous roadmap, which looked like this. you know, it's a roadmap. It goes spring, summer, autumn, winter, you know. They've released Assault Squad. The Mystery Army release was that could have been the Mechanicum, or it could have been the Solar Auxilia, I don't know. But even so, again, a roadmap. It's sequential. It tells you what's coming out of plastic and resin, etc. Now, the 40k one, it shows you a little bit more. It's like, look, Ashram, Eldar, Imperial Knights, okay? But what's funny is the first bit, roadmap 2024 so far. The new edition of Warhammer 40k, rollout of refresh rules and armies. Okay, the new edition of 40k came out in 2023. Don't want to be pedantic, okay? But the roadmap of 2024, starting with something that happened in the middle of 2023, is a little bit odd in my opinion. And then it says loads of great factions have come out. Obviously showing off the factions that have come out recently. That's fine. Data slate, okay, great. Still to come. There's a lot happening in 2024. It's time to take a breath, watch the balance, and enjoy the World Championships of Warhammer Blood Angels end of the year. Or end the year, should I say. So basically what they're saying is for the rest of the year, the only thing that's going to be released is Blood Angels. But again, they announced Blood Angels on a random Monday. They could have pushed the release back a week and announced all the Blood Angels at Nova. Here's all the cool stuff. Because they had nothing to reveal, which is the weird bit. There's just nothing to show. But they just go on to say, plus more codexes, big names, special chaos treats. That doesn't get people excited. That's just like, what are you on about? We know you're going to release codexes. 3 of them being Astra Militarum, Eldar, and Imperial Knights. But we know there's going to be codexes because that's what you've been doing the entire time you've been making Warhammer. For like 40 years, you've been releasing books and models. We know that. Now, I will give them credit. Again, the problem is the messaging, all right, or how they're conducting the messaging. Because in the video, a minute and a half towards the end, okay, it's only a 3-minute video, but you know, when with TikTok, people don't care, okay, it's too long. They talk about the Blood Angels that are just releasing, you know, they're saying Blood Angels are going to end the year. There's going to be no other codexes. Obviously, we've got the FOMO box now. That's going to be on shelves, not this Saturday, next Saturday, and then the book itself will come out along with the rest of the miniatures, like the Sanguine or the Sangard. Everything that's been revealed that not actually on the shelf yet. That'll be shown, put on the shelf towards the end of the year, or to the end of the year. That's the last release. Okay, they've kind of said like, there's no other armies being launched. But they've said that Astra Militarum, Eldar, and Knights, but they've not really said anything about it on the shareable image that people are going to take and put online and make memes for, because there's nothing to look at. It says, wow, this is worthless. It doesn't mean anything. Now, in the actual video, again, giving them credit, you know, my goat wiggled something out.
Awesome. So that sees us through to the end of the year. A little bit of a tease about what comes further down the road?
So we start off the new year with Astra Militarum.
Wow, okay.
With the Death Corps. So
Awesome.
Obviously people have seen the infantry unit that was released via Kill Team.
Yeah, absolutely.
We get to round that out with a full Death Corps release, which will be super exciting.
That's going to be amazing.
Really, really good. Yeah, I think they're like a fan favourite regiment. Yeah. I think most people have like a favourite Astra Militarum regiment. We know that the Death Corps are really popular, so that'll be very exciting.
So they're rounding out the entire Death Corps of Krieg army, okay? That's really big news. You know, they're releasing a whole new, well, they're expanding the regiment that people really like. It doesn't say that on there. It just says Astra Militarum, more codexes. Okay, bearing in mind that people are getting a bit like frustrated with like 40k releases right now because they're just, it feels, there's definitely like a bit of a thing where people are kind of going, right, Stormcast Eternals, Skaven, etc., getting announced, big range refreshers, and then 40k is getting a new character and a codex. You know, we've seen it with Admech. Necron's got 3 characters, but you know, it kind of stands. Characters and codex. Imperial Agents got character. Custodes got character, which was kind of like a new character, but it was just kind of like a multi-part kit of a character they already had. You know, they've kind of like this over the years, until Blood Angels, which has then had a really poorly received release with the Sanguine Guard not having wings and everyone being quite annoyed about it, and the free the nipple. The people are quite annoyed about like the releases, and then they've got this roadmap that doesn't say that they're redoing or they're going to be doing a faction that was Forge World, obviously a long time ago, but they're going to be fleshing out the Death Course of Creed. They've obviously shown an image of one, but they're going to be fleshing it out. What else are they going to be doing? They're going to release a codex just for Eldar?
We're going to follow that up with some Eldari launches.
Wow.
Really rounding out some of the Aspect Warriors with some new sculpts for those, which will be really cool.
New Aspect Warriors. Aspect Warriors are like, they're a bit a meme. Warp Spiders are the oldest kit they have, okay? They're like older than me. They're like 32 years old or something stupid, okay? They don't say rounding out the Aspect Warriors in plastic on the thing that people are going to share. I just don't get it. And they don't really say much else, okay? They're going to say that there's more codexes coming soon and Chaos Trees. That doesn't mean anything. That's a little teaser. I'm happy with little teasers, but you've got a video that, I'm not being funny, people aren't going to watch. They're going to see this image and be like, there's nothing coming out, make a meme about it. Okay? And it's just like, how do you shoot yourself in the foot with such an own goal? I just don't understand. Here's a really shareable image. We're not going to include any of the information on it. All we're going to say is so far in 2024, the edition that Lawsy 2023 came out. I don't understand, okay? And it's weirder as well, is like with Age of Sigmar, okay? Age of Sigmar is a bit, there's a little bit more here, but it's kind of like reading between the lines, because this is the Age of Sigmar roadmap, okay? And it's very similar to the 40k one. So far, the new edition came out, Spearhead's really sick, okay? Still to come, battle tomes galore, including Skaven, which has already been announced. Now, Stormcast obviously hadn't been announced, but it was kind of like a gimme if you know anything about Games Workshop, where they go, here's a starter box with 2 factions in, here's 2 codexes, here's 2 battle tomes. This is the same ones. And then they go on to say Slaves to Darkness. Now, obviously, they've got the picture of each battle tome, or like the battle tome art, or one of the art, or whatever. But they've also got the Slaves to Darkness and the Dark Oath artwork. Now, I don't know if that means that they're just putting it in because it looks cool and it balances it out because then there's 4. But also that could imply that they might be doing a Dark Oath battle tome, okay? Because obviously they've got the Skaven for the Skaven battle tome, Stormcast for the Stormcast, Slaves to Darkness for the Slaves to Darkness. Why have they got a random picture of Dark Oath and don't mention it? Is it because it's part Slaves to Darkness? Probably. Am I reaching? Probably. Okay. Now, they've at least announced that they're going to be new spearheads for Auric War Clans. Obviously, Iron Jaws is one spearhead that isn't part of it. On my video about ranking all of the spearheads, all the spearhead rules, every comment is like, where's the Iron Jaw one? And I'm like, I don't work for Games Workshop. I don't know. However, what's weird with with the release of Age of Sigmar, obviously we've seen new models for Blood Bowl, but obviously we've seen new models for Stormcast. Obviously, we had Skaven just get announced a couple of weeks ago because they won the thing or whatever. But now we've got the Stormcast. The weird thing is like, there's one new model, okay? This one, the Lord Vigilant or Morgriff, or the named character, Iridan the Witness, which seems like a really cool character. And I definitely noticed that they only use they, them pronouns, which I think is really fucking sick. All right, that's very cool. But anyway, the interesting thing is that obviously with this new character, they've also announced a Lord Celestin, okay? A new Lord Celestin, an infantry hero. Very, very cool model, don't get me wrong, okay? The problem is, again, with Games Workshop messaging, is back in April when they announced a new edition, they showed off, they had an article about what's leaving the range, okay? What's leaving Warhammer Age of Sigmar range. This is in April. This was just after they announced Age of Sigmar 4, and they're like, hey guys, look, some models are getting the can, all right? Some Stormcast, some Beasts of Chaos, some Greenskins. I can't remember what they're called. Bone Splitters. Thank you, text. But they said that these are going to be going to Warhammer Legends and no longer considered for competitive play, okay? So like a number of Stormcast Eternals from the Sacrosanct and Warrior Chambers were receiving free to download digital rules, and they'll be going to Warhammer Legends, but they'll be available for competitive play until 2025. Okay, the message in here is all of these models are going to Legends. Okay, now I've obviously spoken about this. I made a video about the fact that they're like culling like an entire army's worth, and I thought it was really shit. But it's kind of like by the by. The problem here now is the messaging, again, because you might notice a model on here. Lord Celestin. As you can see here, Lord Celestin is part of the Stormcast Eternals range that's going to be Legends. It's no longer going to be supported. It's coming off sale. It's no longer going to be supported as of 2025. It's there. So why are they releasing a new model for it? You know, and I'm just like, I don't know if it's just me. I don't know if it's just me being like a stickler because they've said one thing and now they're doing another. But if you've got stuff that's like leaving the range, why is it back in the range? Is it just because you want to release a fresh model? That's totally fine. But why is it part of going to Legends, telling your fan base, telling your customer base that all of these models are going to Legends? They're no longer going to be part of the range. They're going to be supported until 2025, but they're no longer part of the range. Why is he there or they there if they're just going to be a new model anyway? Why don't you just keep them on the shelf and then replace them eventually like you do every other model, you know? Like, the thing is with it is I should have known, because they've got Liberators and Prosecutors here. When at this time we already knew that Liberators and Prosecutors were getting redone. But then that just makes me think, out of all of this, what is just going to get redone? You know, like, is it going to be is it going to be Legends? Is it going to be in a book? Because they've got like a battle tome for it online. It's a free one. It says it's going to be Legends in 2025. You know, how much of this is actually remaining in Legends and how much is just getting redone? Because I don't like that. And a lot of people don't. Obviously, like, when the news came out that all of this is going to Legends, a lot of people were quite pissed off. Even 52 Miniatures, the nicest man I've met, okay? 52 Miniatures made a video, got like 100,000 views, if not more, of like, Games Workshop killed my army and I don't know what to do about it because I spent fucking days, hours, weeks painting every single model. Are some of those models actually going to Legends, or are they just going to come back later? Because if they're just going to come back later, I don't think you should be telling people they're going to Legends, because that makes people make rash decisions, like put them on eBay or whatever, chop them up, throw them away, be outraged, smash them, I don't know. But they're just going to, sometimes they also just put them in a box. But I just think that messaging's really, really bad, because ultimately, look, Games Workshop makes models and they want you to buy models. We live in a capitalist society here, right? That's just how things work. But the thing is, if you're telling people it's Legends and then bringing it back out, it's not a Legends unit. It's just going to get redone in the future. And obviously, as I said, Games Workshop want you to buy new models. They don't really, when a new model comes out, if you own the old one, they want you to buy the new one. Obviously, that doesn't make a lot of sense a lot of the time, but they want you to go out and buy the new one, which is why when they redo kits, they add weapon options. They add loads of other stuff. You know, like, I think weapon options is like the main one. I'm going to say loads of other stuff. They add weapon options as like to make it cool, but it's also so you have to go buy more, because it's like, oh, you don't have this weapon option now. All the old weapon option's gone, you know, those types of things. It's from a balancing point of view in terms of rules, but also it's to be like, well, the prosecutors came with hammers, but they've actually got shields and spears now, you know, so those ones you can't use anymore. You know, and I run tournaments. I talk about WYSIWYG all the time. I talk about making sure models are up to date. I think there's a world of conversion that you can kind of do. But the point being is, like, telling people that like 2 units and now 3 units are going to Legends and then just bringing them back out is a little bit scummy in my opinion. And I don't think that's the right thing they should be doing. I don't think that's the right messaging that Games Workshop should be going with, right? They should be saying, these models are going last chance to buy. Maybe we'll see them return in the future. And just be very clear with it, because if you want to be open and transparent and get the inside scoop of what's happening, maybe they need to be more clear with the messaging first. So there you go, that's my rant. I appreciate there's not a crazy amount of editing this video. I'm currently setting up for Super All-Stars 2, which I've already said is going to be live all weekend. So I'm going to be live Saturday and Sunday. So I won't be live on my usual Friday. And I just wanted to vent my frustration about, like, I think criticism where criticism is due, right? You know, it's like constructive criticism. If you're going to say one thing, kind of stick to it. And if you're not going to do that thing, don't say it. But yeah, anyway, thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you at the Super All-Stars live stream.